Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
I love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
Nuño.
So there's a little feedback, by the way, guys. I like watching Aggie football. I don't just like it. I love it. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what else I love?
What?
The views of the Angry Elephant and Brian that we're broadcasting live from. We've got President Trump right behind your left shoulder. I saw a picture of Charlie Kirk over there a moment ago. I see the SEC network on this TV. I see ESPN on the other. I see Chris Doring. I see whatever show that is on the NFL network on. I see the place that you need to come hang out at where Olin Buchanan will make the rounds. Yeah. That I know.
I see Easy Ed McClintock from Cleveland, Tennessee over there having a Bloody Mary. I see.
Don't put him on blast.
Well, hey, that's just saying. You come over here, have a Bloody Mary, have a good time.
It's Friday.
We're going to talk about A&M football. You know, have a drink, talk A&M football, have a good time with your fellow Aggies. And here comes big Ryan Broniger.
Bronny walking in. We've got a bunch of TexAgers, subscribers, listeners, personnel. Christian and Cruz Nuño in attendance for a little bit. They'll be here for about an hour to hang out.
Yeah, give them a Bloody Mary.
No, I think we'll pass on that. They're not big into the whole alcohol community. They don't go to those meetings, OB.
Well, they're not in college yet.
You know who their dad is, right?
Did you go to college?
I did go to college, and I was not the example that I want them to be. There's no doubt about that. They're the best versions of Elizabeth and myself. Anyway, we're here at the Angry Elephant and Brian. Hopefully you can come out and hang out with us. This is my first time to this location. Really love hanging out here. It's a great place. We've done our shows here before, so we'll have the final countdown from here. We'll have SEC Mike. He won't be here. And there will be no fights, but he'll be on Zoom with us here on the program. OB, if I would have told you that before the season started that A&M would be 10-0 right now, and Marcel Reed would be, if not the front runner, a front runner for the Heisman Award, 2,632 yards passing, 22 touchdowns. He's got 8 picks, but also rushed for 391 and 6 more touchdowns. Do you think you would have believed that before the season? Not after Notre Dame. I think after Notre Dame we said, maybe.
You know, I would have said it was possible because we did say it was possible. We'd say, but A&M still has to prove they can win on the road.
Yeah.
They got to prove they can win in Baton Rouge, and they did that. But, yeah, it was possible. We knew the talent was there.
Yeah.
I remember, we were talking before the year saying that, hey, that A&M offense is going to average between 31 and 34 points a game. Turned out we were underselling that. And we were saying the big question was, defensively, where was the pass rush going to come from? Well, it's coming from Cassius Howell and Deion Hayes and all the blitzes that Elko's drawing up, and now they're leading the nation in sacks. So, we knew it was possible.
Yeah, it was possible, but still unbelievable at the same time. I knew it was possible. I've always known it was possible. This is Texas freaking A&M. All the resources, all the money, and all the passion in the world. We knew it was possible, but for some reason, it did not meet that reality. And finally we do. And I've got some comparisons for you, okay? So the national media, I feel like some like A&M story. Like there's a lot of, I've seen some pretty positive press for Coach Elko and A&M overall. But I also have seen this. We're not a part of the club yet, so they don't want to welcome us in. Right? There's that, you've never been to this party before, so you can stay out there. And I'm going to give you a couple comparisons, because you know I'm the worst with comparisons, right? Yeah. It's like the intern, okay, that finally gets that promotion, and he's got all these ideas, and everyone's like, dude, you just got here. Relax. Chill out, okay? That's what it feels like, because Clemson for a while was that story, and then they were firmly in the party.
Right. Yeah, we're kind of like the Luke Evangelist of the college football community, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But he hasn't made it yet.
Well, you got to finish the job.
Yeah, you got to finish the job. You're exactly right.
But I guarantee A&M's a lot closer to acceptance than Luke is. I say that because Luke just walked in.
Did he? Okay. Well,
But yes, there is and always has been and always will be a caste system in college football.
Yep.
And that's why you see certain teams always get the benefit of the doubts and others don't.
yeah.
A&M has not broken through the, quote, glass ceiling of that caste system, but they're on the verge.
Yeah. Well, and another comparison for you, and this one may be worse, okay?
Okay.
Josh Hamilton.
Okay.
Because all the resources, all the tools in the world get started, and I'm using the Jimbo era here, and then it goes real south. Now, it went south for different reasons, right? But then he had a second part of his career where he became the man. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about the third part. I think he's gotten into trouble over the last few years again. But I'm talking about that second part where, like, everybody talks about the resources. Everybody talks about all the 5 tools that Josh Hamilton had. But then he, for some reason, went down an avenue, and the avenue for A&M was maybe letting the wrong kids into the program, and the system changing, and the former head coach not being able to stay up with the current times.
Yeah. I think of A&M as that
swooping hawk.
Well, that too. But I don't know. It's a GIF or a meme. I don't know. But you've probably seen it because I know you're on social media and things like that. And there's this one. I bet Christian and Cruz has seen it. There's this slight kid, and probably in the 9th grade, and he's bullying this heavyset kid. He keeps slapping at him and things like that until the heavyset kid finally gets enough of it and
picks him up and throws him.
Body slams
yeah, I've
him.
seen that.
And
yeah.
I think that's the way I view A&M right now.
Well, let's hope
they've had enough of it. Now they're body slamming.
All right. Can you believe everything you read on the internet?
No, unless you read it from TexAgs.
Right. Well, this is true. I read on the internet this morning that the tight end from Samford, Vance Nicholas, is the grandson of the great Jack Nicholas.
Huh? How about that?
So you're going to have legendary grandkid/kid playing because E.J. Smith, the son of Emmitt Smith, versus
the grandson of Jack Nicholas.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. I
believe it because I read it. I hope I didn't just put a fakie.
I would bet that the son of Emmitt Smith is going to have a better day than the grandson of Jack Nicholas.
I would agree with you. Yeah. No, I would agree with you. It's time to do 3 things that we want to see. We're running our mouths, brought to you by the Brazos Running Company, your local Aggie-owned specialty running store where you can find Brooks, On, and Hoka shoes, located at Century Square below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station. All right, OB, what are 3 things that you, Olin Buchanan, would like to see? Well,
I want to see Marcel Reed account for at least 4 touchdowns. I hope one of them's at least a significant run. And you can say, yeah, you're just pushing around the punching bag that is Samford. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but let's call a spade a spade. They're 1-10. They lost by 36 to Chattanooga. They got beat bad by the Citadel. They're not going to win this game. That said, Marcel is in a Heisman race, and I pointed out earlier this week that Fernando Mendoza put up 6 touchdowns against Indiana State, which is a bad FCS team, and Julian Sayin had 300-something yards and 4 touchdown passes against Grambling, and no one's holding that against them.
Sure.
So I would like to see Marcel Reed have a game that could kind of boost his stats and kind of help his Heisman campaign. I would like to see that pass rush take full advantage of the matchup. I think Samford's given up 51 sacks. So I would like
the most in the FCS, right?
Yeah, I assume. And then I would like to see A&M. I'd love to see Le'Veon Moss out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ready yet, but I just want to see A&M get through it with no injuries, nothing, because there's a pretty big game the week after.
Yeah.
And I want A&M to be as healthy as possible.
All right, here are my 3 things that I know you'll agree.
Okay.
Health. Please keep my guys safe, right?
Right.
Just nobody get hurt. And that's A. I want to, Marcel plays a half, a quarter, 3 quarters, whatever it is. Keep my guys, plural, all of them safe. So that's the first thing I want to see. I also want to see some stat padding like you, okay? Cassius, let's get 3 more sacks, okay?
On 3 plays.
That'd be great, and you can call it a day at that point. Casey Concepcion, let's have another 100-yard game in the first half.
I'm looking for a punt return for a touchdown for Casey Concepcion.
I would appreciate that.
They gave up a touchdown on a punt return to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to punt a lot. So I think he's going to have multiple opportunities.
Yep, I agree. And I would like to see, the youngsters play. Okay. How about more from Isaiah Williams?
How about it?
Just another 3 catches for 50, 60 yards and a touchdown, maybe 5 catches. I'd love to see Noah McKell get out there.
Yeah, he's been playing well when he's out there.
I've talked to both of them. That's why they came top of mind. I'd like to see Miles O'Neal play a little bit and show us what he can do. I'd like to see Brady Hart come in there and show us what he can do, because he could be the future.
I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Hart want to see that too. I would like to see Marco Jones go out there and get a few sacks.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Obi, what do you make of this new chatter that Penn State might be interested in Kalen DeBoer?
I think it makes perfect sense. In fact, what the scenario I see, especially if somehow Alabama loses to Auburn, I don't know if Alabama can take 2 9-win seasons back to back. So if for whatever reason they get tired of DeBoer, or DeBoer just gets tired of Alabama, because I think it takes a certain personality to be able to thrive in that environment, and I don't know if that's DeBoer. So I could see him saying, hey, you know what?
I'm out.
And if that happens, and I don't think that's a stretch, I don't think he's a quitter, but if that happens,
Lane Kiffin
to Alabama.
Okay, so I want to...
Which is why he's kind of slow playing all this.
Well, there's also another school that down 90 miles away from us, there's a lot of chatter about that. I don't know how much I believe it, but I think when you get very defensive, it makes me believe it a little bit more. But there's a world that we could be in where Penn State's open. That's already open, sorry. LSU, Auburn, Arkansas, who am I missing? Florida, Alabama, freaking Texas. Could we see that Armageddon of coaches this offseason?
Yeah, we could. I don't think it'll get to that extreme. I guess we're going to say that Sarkisian, should we just take him at his word when he says that all those discussions, all those rumors are unfounded? Should we take him at his word? Well, Del Conte said that there's nothing to it, and we all know that Del Conte
he tells lies. The truth, man. He's a truth teller. Yeah, I don't think all that's going to happen, but
I wonder if DeConte's going to head over to the cemetery and snook and talk to anybody about what's going to happen with Sarkisian.
I think it's probably exactly what Sark said, but with his underlings, if you will, sniffing what's out there.
Right. Yeah, that's an old coaching ploy for years. I haven't talked to anybody about this job. Well, yeah, but his agent has.
Or your cousin, or your cousin. Just like recruiting works, right?
Or Miss Terry, if you're Saban.
Yeah. Obi, this weekend against Samford, are we going to learn anything?
No.
Yeah.
No. No, we're not going to learn anything. This isn't. Again, I'm sorry. It makes me really look like I'm disparaging Samford. I give Samford credit for scheduling this game. Yeah, they're probably going to get $1.5 million or whatever to do it, but those kids are going to come out and they're going to play hard. Hey, look, we got this great opportunity. They know they're going to get hammered, but hey, look, we're going to go and get to play in Kyle Field, right, against the number 3 team in the country. But Samford, this is a complete and total mismatch. And what are we going to learn? That A&M is 50 points better than Samford? We already knew that.
Yeah.
Well, here's what we might learn. We're going to learn just how charitable Mike Elko is, how benevolent. I could see A&M being in a position to win, 70-7. I know it's kind of a score that we don't like to talk about much.
Oh, God, why'd you bring that up?
77-0, right?
Yep.
And Elko's like, no, we're not going to do that.
He doesn't strike me as somebody that would do that.
No, he doesn't either. So, but no, I don't think, just like I don't think LSU is going to learn anything unless it's negative by playing Western Kentucky, or who does Alabama play this week? Eastern Illinois.
That sounds correct. Yep.
It's not even an intra-squad scrimmage in my mind because I would think A&M's backups are better than Samford starters.
I was listening to your good friend Ryan Fowler, okay?
Oh, Ryan.
And they were talking about a scenario where Alabama, okay, goes to the SEC championship game and loses.
Okay.
Let's just play that out for a moment.
Right. So they beat Auburn, but then they lose the SEC championship game to A&M.
Which I don't believe what happens in the SEC championship game should hurt you.
Okay.
It could hurt you head-to-head with that team. But in that scenario, would a then 3-loss Alabama team be outside looking in?
Maybe.
Because there are 2 losses now.
Right. If anybody with 3 losses could get in, it's probably Alabama. If not,
Texas.
yeah, I think Alabama carries more cachet than Texas does. Texas has more money, but Alabama has more cachet. So Texas has more cash. Alabama has more cachet.
Right.
That's the way I should have put it the first time. Possibly they get in, but that will be, they'll be walking the tightrope in a hurricane for sure. Because Notre Dame's going to be 10-2. Miami's probably going to be 10-2. Now you got USC getting into it. There could be a whole lot of 10-2 teams. Are you going to leave somebody that's 10-2 out to take Alabama at I guess it'd be 10-3? And maybe not. Maybe you do. I'm kind of with you. If you're in the championship game, that shouldn't be held against you. But we'll see. I mean, I know. I watched this committee and see their chairman try to explain it, what their decisions, and all they do is talk in circles and contradict themselves. So I don't know what to expect from those guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. By the way, this is TexAgs Live.
Yes, it is. It's brought to you by David Gardner's Jeweler. David Gardner, a gem of a guy.
So you know that the Holistic Planning Cool Zone travels.
Traveled all the way to the Angry Elephant.
Yeah, sure did.
In Bryan.
In Bryan, that's correct. And also
something really good.
Yeah, my boy's got some good food.
Yeah.
And also the Rollo Insurance Studio. It kind of hovers around wherever we are.
It travels as well.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of travelers, like the 12th man travels.
The traveling man.
And let's see, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can do it by calling our dear friend Buppy or the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
Yeah, it's 797-693-1150.
I'll let you try that again.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you did.
979-693-1150. I am dyslexic in the morning.
979-693-1150. This hour has a label on it. We've labeled this hour the
Go Hour.
Presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. I don't know if we can go around the room and say hi to the people because Nick doesn't have a microphone. We got Cade at the mothership. I guess we can say hi to Cade. Cade, good morning, buddy.
Yeah, I guess we can.
Good morning, y'all. How are y'all doing?
Hey, Cade. What's up? Chaos, Cade.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty light for me over here at the mothership today, actually.
Yeah. What? Give me a football thought.
I'm pretty excited for the big game that I'm excited for this weekend is USC Oregon because that's a college football playoff kind of an eliminator game.
I just don't buy USC, and I don't think you buy Oregon.
I have questions about both.
Yeah.
I've said,
can they both lose?
No, but I would say who's the good team that Oregon beat? Iowa, and they needed a last-second field goal to beat them.
Yeah.
And Iowa's okay. I mean, they're respectable. They're good, but they're not. I think they're in the top 20 right now. But I think. But it's maybe deserve. I don't know. So yeah, I think there are questions about that.
Yeah, let's hit a break, OB. And when we come back here on TexAgs Live, we are going to do a couple of different things as I look forward on. We're going to go through a couple of your matchups, and then we'll do the Pick 6 presented by Prize Picks. That, and of course, Billy Liucci will join us somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour, the final countdown at 10 o'clock. SEC Mike, straight up 9 o'clock. Right now, we're at the Angry Elephant. We love the food here. But sometimes when we need our barbecue fix in OB, where do we go?
We go to 1775. You need a fix, they'll fix you up.
All right, so if you had to rank in your college football playoff rankings the barbecue choices, in case of mac and cheese is on there.
That's a tough.
Who's making the the final four.
Oh, my God. Okay, the final four. I don't have to rank them in order. Okay, easy.
Yeah, just give me the final four.
Okay, yeah. It's succulent brisket. It's jalapeno cheese sausage.
2.
It's amazing pork ribs.
3.
And it's the incredible queso mac and cheese.
Yeah, I might. You know I'm a protein guy
Yeah, I know.
first.
Here comes the turkey.
But I might put the queso mac and cheese as my one seed.
Oh, okay.
It's that good.
It is that good. It's different. It's different. It's like A&M under Mike Elko. It's just different.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is. It's outstanding.
By the way, they're open Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until they're sold out. Online ordering turns off at 10 a.m. 979-492-6241. The website is 1775txbbq.com.
It's good.
Hey everyone, it's David and Olin from the Holistic Planning
Cool Zone.
You know, I like when we have the chairs here because I don't feel like I have to do this when we're talking about holistic planning, but they want you to know, TexAgs subscribers, they take care of the TexAgs subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. Take care of everybody.
They want to know that anybody who signs up by November 27, 2025 will receive this awesome offer. If the Aggies beat the Longhorns or win in Austin on November 28, 2025, clients will pay no management fees to Holistic Planning for the entire 2026 calendar year.
That's free.
It's free 99. Actually, just free.
All you got to do is beat Texas. Well, it's not if they beat Texas, it's when they beat Texas.
When. And when you go to holisticplanning.com, you're going to love Holistic Planning. So it is holisticplanning.com. Check out the website and take advantage of this awesome offer.
And we're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. The Go Hour, presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations, hanging out at the Angry Elephant Inn.
Brian.
Okay, I just had to quiz you for a moment.
Got very close to the Miramount Country Club.
That's right. And Veterans Soccer Fields right down the road. I might know that place quite a bit. Got a nice group of folks here. Bronny's here. Heard Luke made the appearance, but I don't see Luke anywhere. He went that way. Okay. Mr. Nagley's in the house. Yeah. Ed, the whole gang.
Easy Ed.
Anyway, it's Go Hour, by the way.
It is the Go Hour.
Presented by the Warehouse of CC Creations. Just wanted to make sure you were aware of that.
I'm aware of that.
Let's go through some matchups, shall we?
All right. How about this one? We talked about it a little bit earlier, but Marcel Reed against the Samford secondary. Marcel's ranked 17th in the nation is passing after throwing for 439 yards versus South Carolina last week. He's thrown for 2,632 yards and 22 touchdowns. You pointed that out a little bit earlier. Exceeded 200 passing yards in 9 of the Aggies' 10 games and 300 yards twice. He's completed 42 passes that have covered 20 yards or more. So given enough snaps, he'll probably have a big game against Samford. The Bulldogs average 287.4 passing yards allowed per game. They've given up 27 touchdown passes. I think that number should be at least 30 by the end of, maybe even by the end of the first half.
This next one I'm interested in because we know what Coach Oko said at the press conference, but I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, Reuben Owens against the Samford linebackers. We saw Reuben look like he got up a little bit limpy last week, and Mike Elko said, no, he's good. So we're going to take him at his word and expect Reuben to play, and if he's good, then good things are going to happen. He leads the Aggies with 570 yards rushing. We all know that. He was a little trouble getting on track last week, but remember the week before he had over 100 yards against Missouri. Samford allows an average of 165.4 rushing yards per game. They've given up 17 rushing touchdowns. Look, A&M is going to have a significant advantage at the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. So if Samford is going to have any success at all in slowing down Owens or whoever's running the ball for Texas A&M, their linebackers, Jaden Mosley and Carson Sloan, are going to have a big game. Mosley leads that team with 97 tackles. Hey, that's a pretty impressive number for any league, and Sloan is second with 71.
Obi, when I was preparing for the show this morning, I was just looking through A&M's rushing numbers. And by the way, because it's not an SEC on SEC game, there is no injury report, so we don't really know about Reuben what the latest is. That being said, I was just looking at some of the numbers. When's the last time we saw Le'Veon Moss? Florida, right?
Florida.
It's been a month, right?
It's been more than a month.
More than a month.
6 weeks.
At that point, through 6 games, he had 389 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. And let's not forget, they slowly brought him on, right? I think he had, 7? I don't remember how many carries it was early on the first couple of games. It was very little, right?
Because they wanted to establish the pass.
Right. But he is, considering that, 389 yards, third rusher on the team, and he hasn't played that long. That just shows you, and again.
And remember, he was in the first half he got hurt, so he had another half to go.
So it just shows
he would be on his way to 1,000 yards.
1,000%. No doubt about it. All right, what's the next matchup?
How about Cassius Howell, the Southeastern Conference's leading sacker with 11.5, second in the nation by 1. He's produced at least 1 sack in each of the last 3 games. Also credited for 5 quarterback pressures this year. Leads the A&M pass rush that leads the nation with 38, and he's going against a Samford offensive line that has given up 51 sacks. So, it's hard to look at, in fact, it's impossible to look at this game and say, hey, here's the key matchup in terms of it's going to be really competitive. I think these are the key matchups and where A&M could either just absolutely dominate even more than typically, or Samford plays over its head and makes a respectable showing. And maybe they can keep A&M and Cassius Howell from getting to their quarterbacks. Now, how would they do that?
Right.
Maybe a lot of running, maybe a lot of 3-step drops. I could see them at least at some point changing quarterbacks and bringing in whoever's the most mobile to try to escape. But I think I would expect Howell and company to get there a few times.
Obi, let's skip to the last one because we already talked about KC and the punt return.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because this one I think is an important one to consider.
Well, it's A&M against the alarm clock. Again, another 11 a.m. game. A&M just was not, in my opinion, was not mentally, maybe physically ready to play last week against South Carolina. I think that was obvious when you see guys dropping passes, when you see guys missing tackles, missing assignments, missing field goals, all the things that they typically don't do.
Right.
That was a team that just wasn't ready to play. And if that's the case again this week, because it's an 11 a.m. game, and I always say 11 a.m. games favor the visitor, but let's see if it's the case. If it's the case again, then maybe that game goes into the second half with A&M not having just already settled the issue.
Sure.
But if they're ready to play, I think by halftime this issue will be settled, and we'll know who's going to. It's going to be a 4 or 5 touchdown lead, I think, if A&M comes out ready to play.
Speaking of that alarm clock, I think my sons use that same alarm clock.
Is that right?
Yeah, this morning I walked into Cruz's room because we knew he had to leave early. He was going to come hang out with us here, and Christian and Cruz were sleeping, and they have their own rooms. And I was like, Bubba, did you turn on your alarm? Yes, let me check. His alarm was on, but he had it almost like it's like a lullaby. It was it was a lullaby. He put him to it made me want to go to sleep again. That was his alarm clock.
Okay,
but I think that's the alarm clock A&M used. Yeah,
that's alarming.
It is alarming. You know what is alarming as well?
That he goes by Bubba Nuño?
Oh, so I call my boys Bubba and I call my girls Baby.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No. What's more alarming is this is the first day this week that you or myself are not wearing something duck camp.
You're right.
We made a mistake. We didn't get the memo.
I just grabbed a shirt that had the A&M football helmet on there.
Yep.
And I think you can never go wrong with that. But you can never go wrong with duck camp.
You can't go wrong with that. And I'm going to tell you why.
Maybe I need to get a duck camp shirt with a A&M football helmet on it.
We probably got to get some licensing agreement.
Like a duck wearing the helmet?
Yeah. Or a Reveille wearing the helmet?
Well, I'm saying duck camp.
Yeah, but the Reveille got the duck.
Maybe Revelle's carrying a duck in his mouth,
but sweet,
her mouth.
Yeah, but sweet, not trying to hurt it, just bringing it to safety.
Like maybe you shot it, like you were out shooting guns yesterday.
I was with that guy right over there,
and you shot the duck, and Reveille went and got it. But that would imply that you actually hit the duck.
Yeah, if you would have seen my shots yesterday, you would have known that Steve Nagley was telling me, shoot to the top right so you can get to the bottom left. That's how it was going for me. Anyway, Duck Camp gear is the best, built for the outdoors, designed for everything else. Go to duckcamp.com. By the way, use the code TexAgs25 for 25% off your order. It's Duck Camp, built for the outdoors and designed for
everyone.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's talk a little Snaps clothing. David Nuño here, and I love wearing Snaps clothing everywhere. I've got the flannel on right now. You've seen me in the Tailgater collection with the A&M gear. It is fantastic. If you see me around town with my sons, Christian and Cruz, they've got a bunch of Snaps gear. When they have big games for Consol, they wear nice clothes, so they wear their Snap stuff. And I'm telling you, with baseball season here, let's all kind of go looking stylish and fit to the games. They're at Olsen wearing the Snaps clothing. As a reminder, they are the only official licensed Texas A&M Pearl Snaps maker out there. Their Tailgater collection is built for game day with breathable, moisture-wicking fabrics to keep you comfortable while you rep your Aggies in style. Now, whether you're watching the game from home or maybe you're in attendance, you're tailgating, whatever it may be, you got to make sure you head to snapsclothing.com to see everything they have to offer. It is fashionable, it is awesome, and you're going to love it.
So I'm about to get a little more social, all right?
Okay.
So during the breaks, I've been slamming down my breakfast.
Yeah,
I have just going. I mean, if I start burping on the air, my apologies, but I've been throwing it down. I just had a little breakfast plate that was fantastic here at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Highly recommend it.
My grandfather used to say, it's better to belch and bear the shame than to squash it and bear the pain.
Well said, sir.
Troy Cooper.
Yeah, I like that. So we're here in Bryan, having a good old time. Hopefully you can come hang out. We'll be here through the entire show, obviously. Billy will be here around 9:20 or so. So looking forward to talking to him about that. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio during the Go Hour, presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Before we do Pick 6, OB, I want to read this text, and this will kind of tie into our Pick 6.
Okay.
But here it is. It's what will OB and Nuño be watching in regard to TU versus the Hogs? The only thing I want is for them to be 7-5. Yes, the most likely scenario is A&M will play them with a chance for Texas to maybe sneak into the playoffs. That's the most likely scenario. And A&M could squash their chances. And I know a lot of folks are signing up for that. I'm signing up for Texas 7-5. That's what I want. I want Arkansas to go there and slap him in the face and end it.
That would be nice.
It's not going to happen, but that's what I want.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. When you look at Arkansas, since the game against Notre Dame, their games have been very competitive. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I would root against Arkansas or for Arkansas only because they're playing Texas. I don't worry about next week because I think A&M's going to beat Texas, so it doesn't matter to me. I know that you feel the same.
Yep. By the way, it is time for our Pick 6 game brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs. And once you play $5 lineups, you'll get $50 to play with. It's the best way to play it. Use the code TexAgs to play Prize Picks. And by the way, OB, this week, we actually did 7 games because the 6th game, the A&M game, had no line, at least the last time we checked. So,
Yeah, I'll take whatever it comes out to be.
Right. So we just added an extra game. Okay. Thank you to Caden Schwartner for that. But we're going to have our friend, Chaos Cade Bickham.
Chaos Cade.
Read us
Colorado
the games.
Cade.
Colorado Cade. Chaotic Cade, what do you have for us?
All right. Well, the first game is number 22, Missouri, at number 8, Oklahoma. It's at 11 a.m. at Memorial Stadium in Norman. It's on ABC, and Oklahoma is a 7.5-point favorite.
OB, I was so impressed with Missouri's defense when A&M went there. A&M has a much better offense than Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wins, but I think it's going to be closer than the 7.5.
Yeah, if it was 6.5, I might be a little bit wary, but 7.5, I'll take Missouri. Heck yeah, I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but Ahmad Hardy, his ability to break off a long run here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it with Jamal Roberts? Yeah. So the other running back was really good, who I thought looked better than Hardy against A&M.
Well, maybe in between the first and the last carries.
Correct. So those two carries still count.
I will take 7.5 and Mizzou.
Yep. Next game, Cade.
All right, next game is going to be USC at Oregon in Autzen Stadium at 2:30 p.m. It's going to be on CBS, and Oregon is a 9.5-point favorite.
SC. You're going to give me 9.5 points?
I agree. I'm going SC as well. I don't believe in either team. We already discussed that earlier. I just don't.
Yeah, I see these teams being pretty even, and so I'll take 9.5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Ask me.
Let's say Oregon stumbles here, okay? Let's just say they stumble here. I don't know. Who did they finish with this year? I don't even know.
Washington, okay. A good Washington.
Any chance Dan Lanning is like, look, I got it good here, but I got to get to the SEC?
No.
You don't think LSU sounds appealing to him? You don't think?
I don't. I think he's sitting up there thinking, I can get in the SEC and even at LSU, and every game is a root canal.
Yeah.
Or I can go stay at USC, and I gotta, every game is not a root canal. Every game, some of those games, and that's for you, Chad Silvertooth, my dentist.
Yeah.
Who gave me a root canal.
All right, let's go to the next game.
All right,
Chaos.
The next game is going to be Arkansas versus Texas, or at Texas in DKR. It's going to be on ABC at 2:30, and Texas is an 8.5-point favorite.
God, please.
Bovine or swine?
I think Texas is going to win by double digits. I hate to think that, but I do. After getting embarrassed, slapped against Georgia in the fourth quarter, I think they'll win by double digits.
I'm going to say pick suey.
Yeah?
I'm going to take, how many points do I get?
8.5.
8.5.
Man, I'm going for points today. Suey pig. I'm going to take Arkansas. That Arkansas, they can score. And I think they'll score enough to keep that interesting.
Okay.
So, pigs. I'll take the swine over the bovine.
Next game.
The Tennessee Volunteers are heading to the Swamp to play Florida. It's going to be at 6:30 p.m. on ABC, and Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite on the road.
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I know Tennessee can score.
Yep.
They can't play defense, but I don't know that Florida
can play offense.
Can play enough offense to exploit it. But I know Tennessee can score. So, yeah, Tennessee by a touchdown or more.
Next game.
Next game, we have BYU going to Cincinnati. It's going to be at 7 p.m. on Fox, and BYU is a 2.5-point favorite on the road.
I think I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Yeah, if nobody watches, does it really happen?
No, it doesn't. It's like a bear in the woods.
Yeah. Or a bear cat in Cincinnati.
You're right.
BYU.
Okay. Aaron Torres was quite on the BYU path. He was tweeting about. He talked about it yesterday on the show. It was a very spirited conversation, but he mentioned that their resume is actually better than Notre Dame's, because I forget who they beat, but whoever they beat is better than Notre Dame's best win on the college football playoff rankings, and they only have one loss, and that loss came to Texas Tech, and Notre Dame has obviously got two losses to Miami and to Texas A&M.
Okay. I wonder who that good team, that BYU.
Somebody in the comment, it might have been Utah. Nick will tell us the answer here in a moment.
Utah.
So
Schoon is shaking.
Yeah, Utah it is.
Hands.
Yeah, Schoon never says so.
If Schoon says it must be true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Northgate Schoon.
I'm surprised he didn't go to Oklahoma. Well, he'd been the Sooner Schooner.
The Sooner Schooner. All right, that's so did we both pick? Yeah, I picked Cincinnati, you picked BYU.
BYU.
All right, next game, please.
All right, we will pick A&M-Samford. Samford is heading to Kyle Field. It's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. on SEC Network Plus. A&M is a 54.5-point favorite.
So we are picking this game? Okay, I didn't realize that game was...
See, my only hesitation here...
54.5 is a lot, bro.
I know, but my only hesitation here is Elko.
Yeah. I mean, A&M's going to win by like 48.
I'm going to take A&M over Samford and Son.
And Son. Okay. Yeah. Lamont?
He could probably help him
Is
out.
he still with us?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Grady?
Oh, Grady, yeah. Onesta? How many people here know what we're talking about?
I'm going to tell you this, and you should do this. David's going to be, because David's always very tense during the game. He's sitting next to me, and if Samford even scores,
I'm going to say it's over.
He's going to be going, I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Only the old folks know what you're talking about. Yeah,
because my wife's name's not Elizabeth.
Well, and I almost looked at you double taked when you said that. By the way, just saying. I mean, there was a moment FCC violation, OB. Anyway,
or any other violations.
I hope only a few people got that joke. Anyway, what did we decide? All right, we're deciding that.
Esther.
So yeah,
this game's going to get uglier than an Esther.
I'll just take Samford, unfortunately, because 54.5 is a lot.
Okay. Yeah, and again,
and I think Coach Elko's polite. He says thank you.
Elko can name the score. And if he wakes up this morning and says, you know what, I think I want the score to be 52-7. It'll be 52.
Yeah.
If he's feeling kind of ornery and he says, you know what, I'm going to put 80 up there, he'll put 80 up there.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's that
God, I would love the Kobe game. That'd be great. 88 for A&M, 88-0. Heisman moment. Nobody gets hurt.
You know what? Indiana beat Indiana State 70-3, I think it was. I think it was 70-3. So there you go. Go for 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, but when was that game?
Well, it was like the third game of the year.
Yeah, at this late, you have so much still it's bigger at stake. I
don't think you have to have all your starters in there
to do that.
You just got to. I mean, Isaiah Williams.
This is true.
I mean, EJ. I'm having a senior moment.
EJ Smith?
No, I know EJ Smith. I'm thinking the other Jamarian Morrow.
You know,
yep. Those guys can go as well.
All right, we're going to do the seventh game as a just in case, because with Billy, you never know. He may get mad. I can see the McKinney brothers and Billy giving us a hard time for, why'd you put A&M on here? And then they're going to get mad for having a seventh game. So this way, it's just a maybe. So this game will be a maybe, okay?
Okay.
What's the maybe game?
Well, this maybe game is going to be Pitt heading to Georgia Tech in Atlanta. It's going to be at 6 p.m. on ESPN, and Georgia Tech is just a 2.5-point favorite here.
Well, Pitt's been playing some good ball. You know, I'm really disappointed in myself. Was it yesterday or the day before we were trying to come up with sports figures named King?
Yeah.
Haynes.
Haynes King.
Duh.
Billie Jean King and Haynes King.
Bernard
King.
Bernard King. Two Bernard Kings. A&M's Bernard Kings and the Knicks' Bernard Kings.
That's correct.
Man, I'm just missing the Kings all over the place, but I'm not going to miss this. I'm not going to bet against Haynes King.
I'm not either.
Until he's playing A&M.
Then I'll go against him. I'm taking Georgia Tech as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's hit a break. When we come back here on TexAgs Live, we're going to bank on something, all right?
All right.
But before that, we're talking Rollo Insurance. The difference is real. They're an independent insurance company built around educating you on exactly what you're paying for, doing the shopping for you so that you can accomplish all of your insurance goals. They have over 60 offices in the great state of Texas, but their headquarters is right here on Highway 6 in College Station. Check them out. It is Rollo Insurance, 888-44-ROLLO, or go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. I don't have a script in front of me. That's from the Dome, buddy.
Yeah, nicely done. All the way from Houston.
I think. We'll be back.
The Dome.
Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
just told a moment ago that over there is the fan club zone. So if you didn't know that, we've got the cool zone brought to you by Holistic Planning.
Cool zone.
Our good friends. And that's the fan club zone.
The fan club zone.
Brought to you by the fans.
Okay. I heard Ryan Broniger yelling at me, making fun of me because I'm not as nimble as I used to be when I was younger. And all I ask from the Lord is that I get to live long enough to see Ryan become an old, fat son of a gun.
Oh, my goodness. And people applauded. I mean, my goodness. This is TexAgs live at the Angry Elephant in Bryan.
Yes, it is. We're having a good time here.
Brody thought I stole my son's food. And he's like, you're taking your boy. I was like, no, I had my own plate. I'm not going to steal their food yet.
They're like, Dad, please, can we have something to eat?
No, you're not allowed. But you know what we can is to bank on something presented by Vera Bank, authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. What are you banking on?
Yeah, I got to say, the only thing that to me that's really interesting about this game is Marcel continuing his Heisman push. So I'm banking on at least 4 touchdowns accounted for by Marcel Reed in this game.
I'm banking on smashes, cashes, Sackus, Howell.
Crashes.
All of the us in it, okay? I'm going to say 3 first-half sacks.
Okay.
3
in the first half.
He might get 2 on the first drive.
He might get 2 on the first 2 plays.
He might. I mean, you know what? He probably won't because they're going to run. They're going to be like, we can't pass on this guy.
On the first 2 pass plays.
Yeah, first 2 pass plays, 2 sacks.
It could happen. We've seen him get 3 consecutive sacks on 3 consecutive plays before.
Will he bark?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I hope he barks. I hope he barks.
He'll howl. He gets a sack and he'll howl, and we'll call it the Cassius Howl.
The Cassius Howl. OB, that does it for a quick go hour. Thank you, buddy.
Of course, and get out of here after that one.
Yeah, on that note. And now Bronny's going to follow you to your car, Tanya Harding Galuli. All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with SEC Mike live here. He won't be here, but I'll be here at the Angry Elephant next on TexAgs Live. Welcome back into TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number 2 of the program. We are actually live at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Hopefully you can come hang out with us here. We're actually doing an old flipperoo. We're going to talk with SEC Mike around 9:20. So we're going to go straight to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, where our co-owner and dear friend Billy Liucci is joining us here on his way to the Angry Elephant. Billy, good morning, sir. How are you?
David, how are you, buddy?
I'm well, bud. Hanging out with a bunch of my dearest, closest friends. I got the fan zone in front of me. I got Christian and Cruz here, Steve Nagley, Ed McClintock. We got a bunch of folks here. We've got Reese and McKinley and everybody. Schoonover's in the house. Nick, is fun.
Good. I'll see you soon.
I have no idea what you just said.
I said I'll see you soon, David. See you soon.
I'm used to it, buddy. Hey, I wanted you just for a moment, since we're just here over here shooting the breeze, Billy, to imagine the scenario if A&M was going through what Ole Miss is going through right now, with a coach that seems to be sending subliminal messages, and this is just kind of the Lane Kiffin way, and have one foot in, but maybe another foot out, and sending tweets here and there. Like, could you imagine if it was Elko doing this exact thing right now with the messaging and the lack of words, and what is going on right now with Ole Miss and him, and also the ultimatum that Ole Miss gave him, and just not knowing?
Well, in that case, David, I've never seen anything like this. If he leaves, even if he stays, it's just he's doing it in such a Lane Kiffin way that he's really burning up a lot of goodwill. He's burning up a lot of goodwill with a lot of fans that have really, not fans, but just imagine the people, the money people there, and what they've done to get that program where Lane wants it. Like, it's crazy to me that he's doing that, and if he leaves, then even worse. I mean, but at the same time, it is such an awkward thing with this timeline of the portal and recruiting, signing day, and all of that. It's all so crazy that, like, it's just hard to imagine what you're supposed to do, but certainly the way he's doing it feels way wrong. It feels really disrespectful to the folks in Oxford, for sure.
Yeah, and it just made me just appreciate the way Elko handled it even more, because in the beginning he wasn't going to take questions about it, and then it was done, right? Like, it's over. It has, to me, regardless, it's a distraction for Ole Miss, even if he stays, right? It is a distraction the way they, as a program, and Lane Kiffin himself has handled it.
Let me just ask you this. Imagine if Mike Elko's family was spotted in Happy Valley and Baton Rouge over the last 2 weeks, and he never acknowledged it, and also never said, "Guys, I'm staying here." Like, stop. Like, I mean, it just sounds insane to even imagine, right?
Yeah,
and everybody goes. I was going to say, everybody goes through this to a degree. Like, people forget, like, Kevin Sumlin got offered USC. Kevin Sumlin was coming, to my house to talk about that when he was being offered by USC. Like, literally on the way home from practice, talking about I think they were done by then, but from work, explaining what USC was doing and, why he was going to stay, but they were making it tough. And then you had Jimbo with LSU with Scott Woodward there, where famously how that ended up. And so it happens to everyone, but no one's handled it in the manner that I've seen Lane Kiffin handle it. And that should surprise all of no one.
What do you think he ends up doing?
I'm trying to think of, like, the worst thing he could do, so I think he'll leave. And I think if he does leave, I was really thinking it was Florida. Now I think if he leaves, it would be to LSU.
And It makes me wonder, Billy, what other big opening could still open? Because you've seen the rumors about Kalen DeBoer and Penn State. You've seen the stuff about Sark.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what else could open up?
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where you tell yourself maybe he's waiting on that. Maybe he's waiting another year on DeBoer in Alabama or Sark in Texas. Although he'll be a lot more difficult to hire if he signs that new deal at Ole Miss. So I don't know how easily that would work out for him. But yeah, I get it. I don't think that Sark stuff came out of nothing. I really don't. I think there's some issues there under the surface. I've been kind of alluding to that for a couple of years now. Where I just don't think it's just totally. It's not. I don't think everything's comfortable and good feeling there. But I also don't think he's leaving. I don't think he would say what he said. You know, again, never say never. But I don't think he would have said all that the way he said it here recently if he was planning to go. And they're not going to fire him. There's not reason to do that with their on-field results. And then DeBoer, I mean, come on, man. Like, I know it's not a fit, but do we really think Kalen DeBoer is going to leave Alabama and go to Penn State?
Nope.
Does anyone really believe that? You know,
I don't. I don't believe it, Billy.
I don't either. So I don't think either one of those are moving. And I think Lane Kiffin probably certainly knows that Sark isn't. So, and obviously Kiffin knows what's going on at Bama. I don't buy into that one so much. I just think, you know, his mind tells him or his nature is to leave Oxford. But he's kind of trying to resist his natural instinct, which is just to go to the highest bidder, go coach, by the water, and, have a lot more in his weapon bag.
But just for a minute, Billy, let's just enter that world, okay? All those openings. Let's just say that Kalen DeBoer actually was interested in Penn State, and that opens up. And Sark leaves for the NFL. The Armageddon of where coaches would go. How would that play out? Do you see then Lane saying, I'm going to Bama, or I'm going to Texas? Like, what do you think happens under that kind of chaotic world?
Well, if any of those things happen, we have just chaos, right? Complete and total chaos. Not just Ole Miss. You know what's funny is, I know his name's come up a lot lately because he's Mike Elko's agent, is Clint Dowdle. And I think he's one of the best in the business. But if you look at his client list, it is a who's who of like the under 50 coaches. It's Elko, it's Marcus Freeman, it's Dillingham, and then it's Drinkwitz, it's Golish, it's Sumrall. It's really interesting when you talk about power players in college football to look at Clint and look at the young coaching stable he's got. And right now, just like you mentioned, depending on what Lane Kiffin does, it could set off a real domino effect that would absolutely involve a lot of those names I just mentioned. Like, is Sumrall Auburn, or is he Ole Miss? Is I don't think Dillingham's poachable, but does Drinkwitz end up at LSU or Penn State if LSU doesn't get Lane? So there's going to be aftershocks felt anyway. But yeah, if something happened at Texas, it would shake up the entire landscape. I just do not see that happening. You put me on record as saying that will not happen this year.
Billy, there was a time where I cared a little bit more about what rival programs would do. I cared who Texas would hire. I would care what LSU, and I still care. Don't get me wrong, because I want misery for them. But I don't care the way I used to because I feel so good about our situation.
You know what? you're so right, and it's so funny because I was texting with an LSU buddy of mine yesterday. I said, "Hey, I haven't even thought about it. You know, I'm just following the Lane stuff, but I haven't really followed LSU. Like, what's y'all's? What are we looking at here if it's not Kiffin? You know?" And it was just like, and I didn't get like whoever I asked didn't really know, but I was sitting there going, I haven't really thought about it. And in the past, yeah, you're like, oh my God. I do think we should think a little more about LSU than say Arkansas, which feels odd. I saw some Dabo to Arkansas rumors flying out yesterday. You know, I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I don't buy that, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do. But I also don't care as much because the new schedule, you're not playing them every year. But you are playing LSU every year, so I do think we should pay a little more attention to it. But I get what you're saying because you're just like A&M is going to be in there in that mix regardless. So it is a good feeling. It's good to know. It's good to have that kind of faith in Elko, his coaching staff, his recruiting team, the GM, the whole staff, and to be able to have that confidence and go, they're going to be fine. The trajectory of this program is going to keep us there regardless of what any competitors do. We haven't felt that way very often before, have we?
No. From a football perspective, Billy, how has your opinion of, I'm just going to give you a couple programs, changed since maybe, I don't know, a month ago to now with an OU, with an Alabama, just a couple teams there, just how your opinion has evolved or changed, or maybe it hasn't?
It has for OU. I was wrong in writing them off when I did. Even had they gone 1-1 on these two road games against Bama and Tennessee, and I picked them to beat Bama later, after they beat Tennessee. To lead into that, so OU, I did not think could go 2-0 in those two games. I thought they would lose one, and honestly, you watch that Tennessee game, they probably should have. And Alabama, teams are really. But I give OU credit; they're exploiting weaknesses, whether it's ball security, whether it's offensive line play. They're exploiting weaknesses. They haven't blown me away outside of their defensive front, but I had written them off, and I think they're going to make the playoffs now. They got Missouri and LSU. And I don't think they're losing either one of those. And as far as Bama goes, David, you know where I've stood on them. I have thought they're overhyped, overrated by a lot. Not by a lot, but just by being in that top four and people saying they were a national title contender. I just didn't quite see that because of the lack of running game and the offensive line, I don't think, being that strong. It's just hard to imagine winning a championship like that unless you had one of Nick Saban's best defenses, and they don't. And by the way, those defenses had, guess what they had? Running game.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm on the same page with you. What about Georgia, though? Georgia, to me, a month ago, I saw them. They're just not the same Georgia, but all of a sudden, you know, Carson Beck is starting to get Gunnar Stockton's getting some love for the Heisman, and you've got the big fourth quarter against Texas, and just looking like a team that's turned the corner. Do you buy them?
Yeah, I do, for sure. Look, 2 weeks ago, they were a yard away, 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2 stop of Lagway from being in real trouble against Florida, maybe falling behind the final 5 minutes. And I was like, man, Georgia just every week, they can't really do much with these teams. And it's really interesting. And then they went and pummeled Mississippi State. And when you watch how they closed out Florida, then worked over Mississippi State, when you're watching that, it's kind of like, okay, I didn't want to put too much into Mississippi State, but it would definitely look like a different team. But then to do what they did against Texas, and look, Texas fans, and I probably should have pushed back more. against Amanda on the show was saying, it was a close game because it was. I think if we were in Texas's shoes, this is why I didn't do it. People say it's because I'm scared of it. If we were in Texas's shoes, right, I would have been saying the same thing, and I think we would have too. Hey, it was 14-10 going in the fourth quarter. It was anyone's game. Hell, David, we did that in 2019 when the Aggies lost 16-10, but Georgia controlled the whole football game. In this one, it was 14-10, and yeah, if they'd have got a fourth down stop, things would have got crazy, but they didn't, and Georgia just really imposed their will throughout the whole fourth quarter, and they were up 14-3 for all. Georgia was up 2 scores that whole game, and then eventually won it by 25 points. So that was a really impressive game. Like, I think Texas was, I said it, going into that game, I thought they were getting way more credit than they deserved. But Georgia, kicked their butts up and down that field and sent them home looking like the inferior team. So I think without question, Georgia, like, Brandon Walker of Barstool's been in the news all week for his takes on A&M that we all disagree with. But he said he thought Georgia was the only SEC team capable of winning a national championship. I disagree with him there, but the only other team I'd put in there is A&M. I don't think anybody else in the conference. I don't think Ole Miss. I don't think Bama. And I don't think whoever that fifth team would be, whether it's OU, Vandy, whoever, I don't think that's a team that can win it. So I think he was almost right. He just needed to put in those hated Aggies in there, and I think I would have agreed with him.
All right, Billy, we're going to hit a break here. Will you be here at the Angry Elephant for the next segment?
I'm looking at the door.
All right, bud. See you here in a minute. We'll have a SEC Mike on the program here in a few minutes as well. Right now, Milliken Reserve Time, farm-to-table community in College Station. They got homes, they got trails, they got farms, they got wide-open spaces with a mission to build a healthy community around nature. And they've done so by respecting the native landscape that you can find and that beautiful wildlife at Milliken Reserve. 2,600 acres of open space, farms, and trails. They have an extensive network of trails throughout a wooded landscape that includes walking paths, equestrian paths, creeks and ponds and gathering areas, and it's a place for families to cherish for generation after generation. And homeowners at Milliken Reserve sharing a legacy of conservation, which means generation after generation, you're coming back to that pristine countryside place. They want to promote a natural setting for people to connect and come together. If it sounds like the place for you, check out the website, millikenreserve.com. That website again is millikenreserve.com.
Everyone, David Nuño here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever. And also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group. And they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em.
And as a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggie land since 1984 with your favorite pizza. And, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls, reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. David Nuño, Billy Liucci live at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Hopefully you can come by and chat with us. Let's go straight to the Buppy's Catering. Hey, Billy. Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. That's where we find our friend, SEC Mike. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Do I get any of those pepperoni rolls? I mean, that sounds delicious.
They are fantastic.
You know what? If you would ever come to A&M, you and Cousin Shane could not only have pepperoni rolls, we could have Shane and Brawny have a pepperoni roll eating competition. Because he does a lot of food-related things on his show in the afternoons every day.
Yeah, we can bring you here to the Angry Elephant, too. I think you'd like the spot. Hey, I'm curious, Mike, what the South Carolina game did, A&M South Carolina game did for your perception of them. Did it move the needle at all one way or the other?
Yeah, I think it did. And I was telling Billy off air here just a moment ago that I think as if we needed any other evidence, right? Only undefeated team in the conference. But even more so, I believe now A&M is a team of destiny that can come back from any deficit. And again, I have heard it too. You know, people mocking them that they had to come back against this Carolina team. But anybody that actually watched the game is well aware that A&M was in that hole because of mistakes they were making. And they were just kind of getting in their own way. And once they stopped doing that, they were dominant in the second half and looked like the team we thought we were getting and entering that game. So, yeah, I think it's just further evidence that this is a very special team. And it doesn't matter the situation. They're going to keep battling, keep fighting. And there's literally no reason to doubt this team any longer.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's had it been like that all year, it's one thing. That was such an outlier half of mistakes and just crazy things that you don't normally see. That second half was more common. To go on a 28-0 run, you know, they trailed at LSU at halftime, and they trailed what's the other one they trailed at the half?
LSU.
Oh, well, LSU in this one. So in the two games they trailed in the half, they've outscored 28-0 and 35-0 to start the second half. I think they went on a 31-0 run against Mississippi State, 24-3 run against Florida. So that's more of what you see. I think they scored on every meaningful drive against Arkansas there. So that's a lot more of what you see from a football team, this football team, versus what you saw. And you're right. Like, I think in some weird way, falling behind like that, coming back to win, not only did it force the whole country to watch a game that they were otherwise just going to scoreboard watch, right? Not only did it force them to watch that game, but it also, I think, showed championship stuff. And that's not the first time this year we've seen it from this team. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you about Marcel, but I've got to ask you about the 31-30 prediction. Did you guys actually believe it? Or was that hey, this is a no-lose situation if it happens? Like you weren't scared of blowback from the South Carolina fan base, clearly.
No, not at all. I just thought it would be hilarious because we were, just like everybody else, kind of burying A&M at halftime and talking about, man, what a win for Shane Beamer. He desperately needed this hot seat talk. I guess that's obliterated, right? Yeah. And A&M finally, you know, I know you guys are well aware. They've been put on upset week, but not necessarily by me every week, although I did do it against Missouri. Yeah. But there's people that have been putting A&M on upset watch every week, and the one week no one did it was the week it looked like it was going to finally happen. But so no, did I really think A&M was going to win that game 31-30 at half? No, I did not. But I'm kind of glad I said it because that's exactly how it played out.
Beamer didn't think they were going to win it. What did you think of his antics before? I mean, I thought that I thought it was. I said all week. I thought it was AI. The way he was just flapping and flailing around, and I thought the game was either over and no one had told me that, or it was AI. It was I mean, just what an awful look. I can't imagine being a Gamecock fan and seeing that.
Yeah, I see that side of it, but at the same time, I love it. I love that. I know Drink. He's a giant dork. People hate that.
Yeah.
I would rather have these dorks. I'd rather have this guy that it could blow up in his face, and for me, that's good business. Give me more of that. Less Kirby Smart. I'm a robot. Will Muschamp was another robot, but only in public settings. You turn the cameras off. These guys get animated. I like the animated guys. It makes it more fun.
It made it more fun Saturday, I'll say that. I also, by the way, let me go on record saying I think Drink's a better coach. With that said, where do you think he's working next year?
Man, I think
you're not going to answer that until we see what Lane Kiffin does.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly going to say. It's where does that domino fall? Because all of a sudden, and I'm with you. I have praised Eli Drinkwitz. I think he's a really good coach. But if he is option B right now for LSU, which I'm not saying he is, but there are people that are saying that.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the job market right now? That Eli Drinkwitz is plan B at LSU. I like the guy. I think he's an excellent coach. Well, I think he's a very good coach. Maybe I wouldn't go excellent, but he's done nothing to garner that job. Now, I think he would do really well at Florida. I also think he's a plan B there. So if I had to pick, I think Eli Drinkwitz is our next Florida coach, because I certainly don't think Kiffin is going at this point.
So, Mike, how long can LSU and Florida wait, though, for the next step, for Lane to decide, or what? Will they wait?
No, they won't wait. And I think we'll know within – I'm trying to think the calendar here. A week from Sunday, I think we'll have. That's the latest. We may have the way they're talking in Oxford. We may have a decision today. So I don't think that'll happen. But I think immediately after the Egg Bowl, which is actually on a Friday this year, I think we'll know. So I don't think LSU, Florida, they're not waiting past next weekend, if that makes sense.
Going into the coaching market's scary, man. Especially when you fight like you do, like Penn State did, and you get rid of a guy in James Franklin. Had A&M not had those ties to Mike Elko, to know about Mike Elko, know what they knew, I don't think they were going after him just off of those 2 years at Duke, regardless of how impressive they were. If he had come from Notre Dame to Duke and been there 2 years, so those ties really helped, and the rest is history. But if it wasn't him, you were literally in a pool of Stoops, Jed Fish, maybe Lance Leipold. It's tough, man. And right now you look at all these names people are talking about. It's really just Lane Kiffin, and then the dominoes. Now, James Franklin was an outlier, and I think Virginia Tech, that's a hell of a hire for them. But it is, man. It's scary to wade out there into the coaching search. That's why it's a good thing that A&M was able to lock Mike Elko up like they were.
And we're all waiting for Kiffin, right? What if he takes the Florida job or the LSU job? Certainly looks like LSU is more likely at this point in time. And then days later, Alabama opens up, or even Texas opens up.
Just talking about that.
You think that's actually possible?
I think Alabama job could open. I don't think they'd fire Kalen DeBoer, but I think he could leave.
Do you think that would require a loss to Auburn? Like, to get that so uncomfortable and kind of both sides going, this just isn't a fit?
Not only that, Billy, but the way I'm hearing it, I think there's an outstanding chance both his coordinators are gone next season. Arkansas is apparently, I wouldn't say zeroed in, but they're considering defensive coordinator Womack, and then Ryan Grubb is apparently the target if Washington's Jed Fish leaves. So I think there's a real possibility if you miss a playoff 2 years in a row in a place where they demand you make not only make the playoff but win the whole dang thing. If you can't even make the playoff and then you're having to replace both coordinators, I mean, Kayla DeBoer could be on the hottest seat in the country going into year 3. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to try to get to maybe a Penn State.
Interesting.
Mike, I'm going to ask you something.
Nuño didn't provide that kind of he didn't present that level of case to me. So I was on record saying DeBoer.
I failed.
I still don't think he'll leave, but that was a much more compelling case.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to ask you something as Billy. I just want to get your take on it, or I'm going to present. How has your opinion changed of Georgia and of Texas based on what we saw, not only the fourth quarter of last week, but just the game itself? Have you changed your opinion on either program?
I would say maybe slightly Georgia, because again, all season they have kind of been living on the razor's edge, so to speak, and now they're making all the plays. Well, they didn't make it against Alabama, but aside from that, when they're making the plays in the fourth quarter, now they've been, and I think that was lost on your listeners because all they wanted to focus on was me picking A&M to lose to Missouri. But I'm such an idiot. I picked Georgia to lose to Mississippi State, too.
So did I.
They have just been on fire that game, and then obviously Texas, and we'll see how that goes. But I believe Georgia's the youngest team in the Southeastern Conference, and I think what we're seeing is Kirby and company is, they've got those young players playing better and better each week. So, yeah, I didn't think Georgia could win the national championship a month ago. I think they could do it now.
Yeah, I agree. I still have some questions about their defense, the secondary mainly, which is crazy to say out loud with how good they've been. But yeah, they're getting after it up front again, and that offense, it looks really good. Noah Thomas, 3 touchdowns I think in 2 weeks here. They've got real receivers. They've got real tight ends, and Gunnar Stockton, I think, has forced his way into the Heisman conversation, which leads me to Nuño's next question.
Marcel Reed, what does he have to do? I'm assuming this is what you're leading me to.
That was exactly
okay, how about this? The South Carolina second half, what did it do for Marcel's Heisman chances?
Well, I think at this point, I think you just said it perfectly. What more can he do? I mean, we're literally the only undefeated team. We're nearly unstoppable on offense. The only time we can be stopped is when we stop ourselves. And yet he doesn't really get a lot of recognition nationally. I don't have any idea what that's about. But he should be, at this point, I think, a finalist for the Heisman, if not the outright winner, if they finish the deal and beat Texas and win in the SEC championship game. But I know that the guy at Indiana, everybody's in love with him, but I don't know. Has he gone through the SEC gauntlet? No, he has not. So my vote would be for Marcel Reed if I had a Heisman vote. But, of course, I don't really respect Big Ten or Notre Dame or any of those. You know what I mean? So my vote would never go to one of those schools.
Well, the national media, this SEC bias that they cry about, has gone on a crusade this year it's actually an anti-SEC bias, and they have gone out of their way, and it feels like the dumbasses on the College Football Playoff Committee are doing the same thing, which is buying into it. When I look and see 5 Big 12 teams ranked, is it 5? Yeah. Arizona State, who lost to Mississippi State, University of Houston, who's played no one other than Tech, who they got beat up by at home. For those type teams to be in the ranking, they've fallen for it. They have bought it hook, line, and sinker. The Big Ten conversation, Indiana, Mendoza, who great team, great player. But the fact that almost everyone I see has him at number 1, I would say take the top 10 plays of any of these candidates. Marcel Reed's right there. It's probably him and Jeremiah Love, to be honest with you. Take the top 3 highlight moments. Marcel's right there with anyone. The Notre Dame play, the second half. Take top 3 games, factoring in opponents. On the road against the top 15 at the time LSU team. On the road game winner against Notre Dame. The second half against South Carolina. He's had Heisman moments that rate up there. I think every box you check, Marcel Reed's right there. But yeah, I do feel like I agree with you. He's in New York, and he's got work to do in terms of A&M just got to keep winning, because like those other two candidates, he's also on one of the 3 best teams.
Yeah, and I really think he'll have an opportunity here in the coming games with Texas. That's what I believe that's on a Friday as well. There's not going to be a lot of college football on, so that's going to be such a marquee one. And then if A&M wins it, of course, they'll go on to the SEC championship. Whether it's Alabama, whether it's Georgia, everybody's going to be watching that as well. So, I mean, he's really got an opportunity to put an exclamation point on one heck of a season.
SEC Mike,
wait, before you go, real quick, break. OU, Missouri. Does Mizzou even have a shot in this one? Can they ride Albert Hardy or not?
No. Lock of the week. Oklahoma wins and covers.
Yep. There you go.
SEC Mike. Now, thank you so much for joining us here on TexAgs Live.
Southeastern Conference, Michael.
Thank you.
There's no Big 10, Mike. There's no Big 12, Mike. There's only an SEC, Mike.
Exactly.
All right. If your organization or business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, check out the Association of Former Students that likes to bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. We're talking about the fun ones like the Aggie Ring Day, the All Aggie Hullabaloo, the Gathering. They welcome tens of thousands of guests, and there are many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees. And they offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options to promote your brand. And these include title sponsorship, naming, on-site presence and activation and recognition in social media posts, and much, much more. There's also a lot of advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter, which are seen by over 230,000 people. So if your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner that's been helping out the organization supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com. It is the Association of Former Students. And we're back on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Billy Liucci, David Nuño. Just finished off with SEC Mike. So, Billy, what do you think? After we asked Mike about what Marcel has to do, what do you think Marcel still has to do?
Oh, I just think this team needs to keep winning, because the way they win typically involves him playing well. And I think if he just plays well in Austin, and if he just plays well in an SEC title game and A&M wins those 2 games, he's going to be right there in it. He'll be right there in it. So, with a real chance to win it. Now, for me to say he's winning it, if A&M goes 2-0 and he lights the world on fire in either one of those 2 games and they win both, then I think he's your Heisman winner. So if he goes down, where's this camera at, by the way?
Camera's right there.
It's right there.
Oh, there's that one there.
I would like to know when it's on, so
See that?
Yeah, I see it. If Marcel goes off in either one of those 2 games and they win both, I think he's your Heisman Trophy winner. Like, if he has a full, like a game, or I don't even care, a full game, if he has numbers and highlights and production like he did against South Carolina, like he did against LSU, like he did against Notre Dame, like he did against Arkansas, although I know that was a lesser defense than the other 3 teams I mentioned, but any of those 4 type games, if he has that type of offensive production in one of those 2 games and they win, I think that Heisman's his. Because if he does it in Austin and they win, he might very well could be your front runner going into the SEC title game. And then just anything involving hoisting that trophy and A&M being 13-0, particularly if Ohio State wins out, because it's like Julian Sayin can put a big ding on Mendoza. And then with Sayin, you'd be going, is he even one of the top 4 players on that team?
Yeah.
And with A&M being a team that a lot of people picked 7-5, most people picked 8-4 to lead them to 13-0 in an SEC title, I think the conversation looks so much different even than it does today, when most people will say he's probably getting invited to New York.
Would you agree with this statement that I'm having in the moment? A&M is a tougher matchup against Texas than it would be against an Alabama team in the SEC championship game.
I like that Bama matchup, but I've been thinking of it in terms of Bama against Georgia versus Georgia. Like, who would I like to match up more for A&M? Maybe even Ole Miss with Trinidad Chambliss, dual threat quarterback, but I haven't thought of Bama v. A&M, like Bama v. Texas, like who would be a tougher one. I think part of me wants to say Texas is better on defense, but they've given up roughly 68 points in their last 2 games. I want to see how they do against Arkansas. Like, that defense is giving up a lot of yards and points. I'm sorry. Mississippi State scored 38. So it's gone 38, 31, I believe, and 35 in the last 3 games. So where I want to say their defense is really tough, I think I've been right all along about the defense. Hi, Amanda. I've been right all along about the defense, that they're a good defense, but they're not elite like they were a year ago. That doesn't mean they can't be in a game. I still think Bama. I mean, look, Bama's the better team, but that game is in Austin,
right?
And it's spoiler mode for Texas, and it's a lot of pressure on A&M. Although they've handled pressure great this year, I think that's a tougher
environment
win to get. I think I like the matchup better against them, though, because I mean, like, they don't have a good offensive line. If Arches is improved as everyone's telling you he is, then he's probably on the level of Simpson. Not really, though, but like, you could just say, okay, 2 good quarterbacks, right? I still think the matchup is better with Texas, but when you do at night rivalry game, I would say that's the tougher hurdle to clear. Does that make sense?
Let's hit a break here. We will come back with more here on TexAgs Live. Right now, we are talking about Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. They have a really nice selection of commercial vehicles with service body trucks, flatbed trucks, several medium-duty trucks to choose from. They're locally owned and operated. They have an Aggie alumni team, and they're going to roll out the red carpet for you with complimentary pickup and delivery for their service customers and free oil changes for life for the life of your purchase. That's right. As long as you own that vehicle from Caldwell Country Chevrolet, you're going to get your free oil change, and that's thousands and thousands of dollars for you to save. Caldwell Country Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Aggie athletics. They have a strong, committed sales staff with many, many years of experiencing satisfying customers' needs. Remember, it's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. Short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. Welcome back to TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Actually, the Rollo Insurance Studio inside of the Angry Elephant in Bryan. And Billy's with us. He's just doing the Billy thing. Seth has arrived. I believe Steve will be here in a moment. We'll start the final countdown. What is it? Fat man in a little coat that You don't know what I'm talking about, Nick, do you? I bet you Kate does. Chris Farley. I think it's Fat Man in a Little Coat, right? Like that's the song.
Yes, it is. It is. Tommy Boy.
Right? Yeah, so Tommy Boy, we're basically going to be Fat Man in a Little Coat with 4 dudes on a little stage. 4 dudes, 1 stage. That's what's going to happen here. And the stage is great, but I already know what's going to come out of it. And it's going to be Nick's fault. It's going to be Dave's fault, right? They're like, how come you didn't build a bigger stage? You know why? Because this is plenty big. They do rock bands from here, all right? I know our dear friend Hunter Shurtleff performs from this stage, I believe, on Tuesdays. Yeah, that Hunter Shurtleff. That absolutely happens right here at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. So hopefully many of you folks can come out here and hang out with us for the last hour of the program where we will have Tommy Boy. Thank you, David Edmond. David Edmond, by the way, will not allow people to... he's been very good this week. I'll give him props. He's actually had some good thoughts. But he is like, you guys are not seeing Oklahoma. The truth is, it's been their defense that scores all those touchdowns and yada, yada, yada. They're not that good. Last time I checked, defensive touchdowns count 2. Just ask South Carolina. They count. So, however they're doing it, that's called complimentary football. When A&M does it, we do give them props for it, right? So you got to give Oklahoma the props for doing that. All right, so final segment of the program. We'll open up the phone. No, we won't. I'm lying to you. We're not going to take one call, but I'll just pretend like we are. 979-693-1150. That's the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline, but you can certainly text that number at 979-693-1150. You are listening to TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner Schulers in the Rollo Insurance Studio at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Well, welcome in to TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Yes, that's right, in Bryan, not in College Station. It's time. Right. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. It is the final countdown with Steve and Seth McKinney. Well, at least with Seth McKinney right now, presented by La Casa Tequila, raised in Aggieland and rooted in the SEC.
Don't tell me that Toad went to College Station.
He did.
He went to college after, I texted him the map location, dropped the pin. All you got to do is click it, and he just, like a robot, goes to the Angry Elephant in College Station. Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I reminded him yesterday and this morning.
Even I remember.
Oh, this is 100% on Steve.
Now, I mistimed it, but I remembered.
You were on the air for the first segment.
If you can't tell, I'm a little. I've had a week of started sore throat, then sinuses and cough. I hear everyone I talk to seems to have that right now. So stay away from me, everybody.
Oh, great.
Seth and Nuño.
That's why we're all close quarters up here.
Hey, so
it's so hypocritical of me, isn't it? It's so bad.
At least you admit it.
If you were coughing on me right now, oh my God.
You'd be doing that show on the other side.
People laugh. They think COVID did that to me. I'm like, if you knew me before, Seth has known me since he started college. I was 5 years older, but you've known
everything's a heart attack to Billy.
I am a germ, or no, it's like any ailment, but yeah. So
anyway, I wanted to start off with something that I started the show off with today. Seth McKinney, if I told you August 1st that A&M would be 10-0 heading into the Samford game, that Marcel Reed would have had all these numbers, right, and he's a Heisman finalist, and would you have actually believed it in August?
I mean, I would have hoped for it in August, right. But I mean, I believed it. Our road to getting to where we are today has been very, very difficult, despite what everybody's trying to say. We've had this easy schedule. It's been a fortunate, I would say, circumstance. But if you look at this thing on paper from day one, it has not been an easy road to get to where we are. And our guys have earned all the respect, and actually the lack of respect that they're being given right now is laughable in my book, because they've done nothing short of perform, and they refuse to be killed, right?
Yep.
Last week proved that. They were down 30-3 at halftime when no one on earth thought, I don't even know what to say about that. That was the worst half that they could have ever put together. And then to go out and then on top of that put together one of the greatest halves of football that anybody could possibly have and win that game, man. They refused to be killed, and it's a credit to them. And going back to your question, no, I mean, I would have been like, oh man, that'd be great. But I was hoping, honestly, for 9-3. I said 9-3, and I was like, give us a shot to go to the playoffs at that point in time. To be right now at, let's just call it what it is, virtually 11-0 going in the Texas game, and then with a chance to make the SEC championship, a guaranteed playoff berth. Unbelievable, man. These guys have just been phenomenal.
I think we got beaten over the head and battered down to pick 9-3, because I wanted to pick A&M as a playoff team this year. Do so much, and I did. I picked them to get in at 9-3. I said they'd be the 5th SEC team at 9-3, not knowing how many were going to go 10-2, right? Nick, you could just say it. You're not he sits there like a pantomime.
He wanted me to do it.
I see Nuño's face, and he's like, I'm trying to make a salient point here. No, but I didn't think there'd be that glut of 10-2 teams like we're likely to see. So I thought A&M is the 5th playoff team. I thought they could be this year's Tennessee, is how I described them, who went 10-2 last season. But last year's Tennessee went and lost in Fayetteville to Arkansas. There were a lot of landmines like that for A&M that I never would have thought they would clear every single one of them. And they did. And when you looked at that schedule, and you look at that opening, the first 7 games in the SEC, people can say what they want about them, but it's like the Aggies have been dominant at times during this stretch. Then, like you said, they've just found ways to win. I think this South Carolina game was the only SEC game where there was like bad football played. Penalties were bad against Auburn, but they were clearly the better football team. You never thought they were losing to Auburn. So anyone that's really watching never thought that. You really didn't think they were going to lose to Arkansas because they were just going to score every single time. I'm not saying that game wasn't competitive and close. Arkansas never had the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead once we got into the second half, first drive of the second half. LSU, they're down at half, they smoke them. Missouri, close game at half, they smoke them, or right before the half. Mississippi State, close game at half, they smoke them. This was the only game where it's like, man, that's bad football, and then it was followed by some of the best football you'll see. You give up 75 yards, you gain, 300 and something? 350 to 75 in any half, outscore a team 28-0. You're one wonky play at the goal line from outscoring them 35-0.
Wow. Yep.
Man, this team is so much better than I think any of us could have thought. But I will contend that if you go listen to me and us this summer, a lot of the reasons why they're this good, are exactly what we talked about, either that were true, factual, when a lot of people in this own fan base were wanting to ridicule it because they were so conditioned to not accept hope, not accept praise, not accept compliments of our athletes, not accept the fact that Marcel Reed should make a big jump.
Yeah.
And my thing was, we have to see it, but it's very reasonable and should be expected that he makes that jump because of the talent level that he showed us last year, because of the type kid he is, because of the offensive line, because of the receiving weapons in the portal, because of Moss and Owens in that backfield. It's a little more exaggerated than even I thought, but this is what he should have done. But no one wanted to hear that.
Right.
Because there was a clip of him throwing the ball bad in a warm-up. Everybody jumped on that so much more than they did an off-season of intel and news and praise. And when I went out there and I was trying to tell people, if this dude plays like he's practiced this week, they're going to be in the playoffs, and I don't know who will beat them. I just didn't know he could do that all year, and he has, and this team has. But everything that we said was good about this team is good, and everything that we said had to happen for them to really take that step. Every single piece of it happened, and that's a credit to those players and coaches.
Yeah, this isn't a shot. What I'm about to say isn't a shot at A&M PR, but we just have a bad reputation out there. I don't know what it is about maybe it's like a history of, if you will, failing at
history
the end.
History of violence.
If you will.
Good movie.
That's a really good movie, yeah.
But we're good, and we need to get noticed for it. And whatever that takes, it's just going to take winning is what it's going to take, honestly. We got to go prove it. We got to go prove it against Texas. We got to prove it in the SEC championship. And one day we will get the benefit of the doubt where someone will look at A&M and talk positively about us instead of always talking a little bit less than reality, in my opinion.
You're right. And I will say this, Mike Elko, one of the things I always talk about is his feel for everything and how he is paying attention to everything, meaning we think portal, NIL, roster management, player development, X's and O's, assistant coach, all those things, of course. But he also is very aware of the marketing and branding of this program. And that's why you see him on all of these national shows, and you see I think you're going to see Marcel Reed, I think, next week on a lot of them. Kat, was at Duke with him and came over from Missouri, she's really well versed in that. And I just think it's yet another thing that he's certainly got his finger on the pulse of. So you're going to see. Good. And like you said, you have to win first. Right. Well, now we're winning, and with a coach and a staff that understand the importance of that, of kind of changing that branding and imaging, and you can see it. It's happening all the time.
This is what I've said for a while. Tell me if you guys agree. I think that image and branding changes with multiple years. So Indiana's getting the benefit of the doubt this year because they did it last year when they were the ones people were talking about. This year they're getting a lot more of a bump up. I think if A&M finishes the job this year, whatever that is, championship, SEC championship, whatever, and they're back to it next year, that's when the narrative changes.
By the way, I just want to say, I think A&M should be ranked 2, not 3. I think if they beat Texas, they will be ranked 2.
That's bold. I agree with you, but I'm not giving them any hope or faith. I don't have any faith in that committee.
Indiana is a bye week and then plays Purdue. I think if Texas A&M goes on the road and beats Texas, I think they will jump them for second. It doesn't mean, but my point is this: I think A&M's getting great pub. Do I think they deserve a little less skepticism? Sure.
There you go.
But I think they are. No one, there's like
going back on that. Do you think Marcel's getting the pub that he deserves? I don't think that he is.
but he's right. Both of the team and Marcel, I think, are right on the cusp of getting what in other words, I don't think they're being blatantly disrespected. I think people are looking at this team saying they're really damn good. And look, everybody went crazy this week over Brandon Walker at Barstool saying that he thought A&M looked like frauds, but they ignored what Portnoy was saying this week, which was, no, this makes me buy into them more. And that's what a large percentage of the country was saying after that game Saturday. Very few said, oh, now this makes me think they can't win it. But most people were like, that's the heart of a champion. And, whether it was Portnoy or T-Bob, so just even on that Barstool, in that little bubble there, I say little bubbles, big giant bubble, but Portnoy and T-Bob have kind of been converted on that front, and one guy went the other way and everybody focused on that. But I think way more than not, people really think this team's a threat to win it, and I think they're really sold on Marcel. I do agree. I think they're both a little notch below where I think they should be in terms of the adulation and putting Marcel up in that Heisman race.
I'm just saying, I don't recall. I'm going back to Johnny's Heisman season and thinking about everything that he had done. Marcel has been very, very consistent. In a weird, crazy way, last week was his best performance, right? Statistically speaking, except for the interceptions. But did Johnny have an off game that year? I'm honestly asking. I can't really remember exactly. I know he had the great ones.
Maybe LSU. It was a weird season. I don't think you can compare these two because here's why I'll say it. Johnny, no one even knew his name to start the season outside of this town. And he lost his first game. And he looked great in some moments, but there weren't big statistics in that game. And then they lost to LSU around midseason. So
give him a fit. Hey, everybody, Steve's here.
Hey, Steve.
Finally, after 15 minutes late? No big deal.
That's pretty quick timing.
First of all, you guys suck. Just say that. We've done this show at the other Angry Elephant for 4 years in a row. Dude. And no one thought to tell me there's a different location.
Come on. How many times?
We did it on the air. We texted you.
I sent you the actual map link.
I called you yesterday to remind you.
I got receipts. Okay.
So you need to check the tags. You need to check my call from yesterday.
I don't listen to messages.
I texted you today in Brian as his own text.
All right, I'm busy. I'm a busy man. But I'm here.
No, but I will say this. That's important enough that you think Nuño, at some point during his 8.2-mile morning run with barefoot in the dew.
4.5 this morning, actually.
What was your Strava score?
I'm not on Strava anymore. I don't want people laughing at me.
So, with that said, you'd think at some point during that run, he could say, you know what, I'm going to text Steve directly.
Oh, directly? So you mean that
it takes a one-on-one text?
He did. He texted him directly.
Literally
5 minutes before the show.
All right. Okay, we're moving on.
You were talking about Johnny's Heisman season. A&M had 2 losses by midseason, so they weren't in the national title hunt. Unfortunately, there wasn't a playoff, or by the end of the year, even a 4-team, certainly at 12, A&M would have been right there with Bama as a favorite, but that wasn't the case. So he was out of the title picture. He didn't really emerge even in the Heisman conversation, and so funny until the Scooby-Doo costume, followed by White going roughshod over a top 15 Mississippi State team a day or two later, and then 7 days later was Alabama. And then, boom. But that was November.
Right.
So there wasn't this build-up with the whole country watching, starting with that Notre Dame game. So it's been a completely different path. I will say the similarity is it's not like a really like strong field, and there's certainly no lay down candidate. Hell, there's even a linebacker that gets mentioned in Rodriguez from Tech.
Come on.
I mean,
we're like,
he's pretty good.
I mean, I know he's good, but let's be real, dude.
He's not going to win the Heisman.
Well, if that win didn't get invited to the Heisman ceremony, but nowadays it feels like they're always doing 5. It felt before like they generally do 3. I think if they do 5, I think he could earn a spot there.
I agree.
Who would be the 5? Gunner?
Well, that's a hard one because it's going to be Sayin, Mendoza, and probably Marcel. And then you have Rodriguez, Connor Stockton, Julian Love,
Jeremiah
and
Love,
Jeremiah Smith. I mean, Julian Love, Jeremiah Love, and Jeremiah Smith. So that's 7 that I think could absolutely be there. So it's got, and look, Marcel's not guaranteed to be there. I mean, I don't think he has to go light up Texas and Alabama. I don't think A&M has to win both, and he can still go.
He's about as close to a guarantee as you.
I was just about to say. I mean, like, how could he not be guaranteed a spot?
Do you really want to know how?
Well, come on. I mean,
if the season ended, if the season ended today, 100%, and if A&M either goes 2-0, or if they go 1-1, or even if they lost to Texas and he played well, because I don't think.
I mean, you're saying a bunch of crazy things right now because that's like neither Mendoza's not guaranteed either. I'm just saying he's going to New York today.
Unless he lays an egg in a championship game. Mendoza.
Yeah, I don't.
He's going to be there.
But even if he lays an egg in the championship game, he's got Purdue.
Yeah.
He's going to put up big numbers. A&M's got Texas on the road. He's got Purdue. He's going to put up. So Mendoza is a guarantee to be there. Julian Sayin,
pretty much a guarantee.
He would have to implode. Sayin's got as tough a road as Marcel does. They're both there
Who
today.
they have, Michigan and who?
Michigan in the Big Ten title game.
Oh, so are they off and then Michigan?
Yeah, okay. I think so.
Oh, so we get all this ridicule about bye and then a big game, but they get the off week and then a big.
Well, they get a bye. They get a bye in Purdue. I mean, like, Indiana's got a bye in
Seth,
Purdue.
you're being so sensitive about it.
I am being sensitive.
You're
all right?
being really sensitive.
Ohio State's got Rutgers this weekend.
We're getting
Ohio
plenty of
State's
love.
got Rutgers. Ohio State hadn't played a team with a winning record in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The Big Ten.
Indiana too, by the way.
It's a joke.
I got killed on Twitter by the Tech. But not only Tech, the whole Big 12 came at me for like 48 hours because I was talking about the Big 12.
Speaking of sensitive.
That's such a fraud.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
That
get me
is such a
started.
They definitely have an inferiority complex.
It's ridiculous, man.
U of H is sitting at 25. Pull up their schedule and record. This is going to really screw him up because he's very
You don't think I Googled during the show ever?
No, he's very regimented with his notes.
It's called like Google.
Here you go.
Boom. Here you go. Stephen F. Austin at Rice versus Colorado at Oregon State versus number 11 Texas Tech, where they lost 35-11. Oklahoma State victory. Arizona at Arizona State, which they won.
Ranked Arizona State. Who lost to Mississippi State.
West Virginia at UCF, and they still have TCU and Baylor at Baylor.
I mean,
it's a gauntlet, man.
Literally half the SEC would be undefeated on that easily, like without even. Mississippi State might be undefeated on that schedule.
Arkansas might be.
They might.
Yes.
Arkansas did lose to Memphis, so
But
I don't want to put.
You know what the beauty of this whole situation is that it doesn't matter. Like in a few weeks, we're going to have an opportunity to shut everybody up. We're in the playoffs.
It does.
We don't have to wonder.
You're right and you're wrong because it does matter on like these certain cut lines are significant. And
But not for us. We're in, dude. We're getting in.
It does matter for us if there's certain cut lines that are significant. One of them would have been if you'd have lost to South Carolina, how they would have dropped us.
Dude, that
would have been crazy.
Yes. That would have just been straight
I shudder
depressing.
to even think of what they would have done had you lost that game. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to shudder on what to think. I mean, they would have. It was just a fact that they would have done it.
Yeah, and
that would have been devastating.
To a degree, deserved a 3-win team. Even, forget the fact that they almost beat Bama and yada yada. But if it does matter when you're talking about the number 2 seed versus the 3 seed, where maybe you can get a Cotton Bowl berth and basically be playing a home playoff game. number 4 versus number 5 that involves getting a bye.
Yeah.
Let's say they go to the SEC title game and 12-0 and lose. I think they'll stay in the top 4. But if they don't, there's a huge difference between
Then
4
they
and
gotta play an
5.
extra game.
I know and then there's a huge difference between 5 and 6.
Well, you just made a comment.
Because at 5 you're playing a group of 5 team at home, and at 6 you're playing a power conference.
So do they have the 4 quarterfinal games like set where the top seed gets this bowl or
No,
it's regional.
It's a regional type deal.
As much as they can.
So if you're sitting at
you
win the SEC and you're sitting at 2,
3. Yeah, go ahead.
Ohio State, well, let's assume there'll be 1.
Rose Bowl.
Big Ten, they try to tie it in. So in a way, they try to tie in the SEC team to the sugar.
Right.
So I don't know how much if A&M's 2, they can say, no, we want the cotton.
Mm-hmm.
That's our region. I don't know how much. I have yet to talk to my bowl people, but that's a. Thank you, Seth.
I talked to somebody from
trying to get in the
Sugar
weeds.
Bowl that said, hey, you guys could end up here. Like he was.
That was the intel.
That was the intel. he works for them.
Hey, y'all got to end up here.
Way to probe around and get.
Hey, you guys can be here. We're scouting you. We're here because of that. That happened. At Missouri, by the way.
I'm going to try to get a little
Broadcasting school really paid off.
Thank you. When it comes to your money and your peace of mind, it starts with the right team, and that right team is Aggie on Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you with 18 professionals, including 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA, and their expertise runs deep at Paragon because credentials matter, and so does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or call them up 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors. Integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. Highway to the Danger Zone here on TexAgs Live.
Like somebody was karaoke.
The final countdown with Steve, Seth, and Billy, presented by La Casa Tequila. Raised in Aggieland, rooted in the SEC. Guys, I'm just going to ask, I remember in the offseason, I ranked the road games, and I was like, I think the most winnable was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You thought that was the most winnable?
Of the three. Of the big three, sorry.
Okay.
Notre Dame, and then I said Texas, and I said LSU was the hardest of the three.
Preseason, that's
preseason, right? Now that we've played two of those three, right? Does that flip a little bit for you guys? Is Notre Dame the hardest? Is maybe Texas the hardest now?
Yeah, it does for me. I mean, I would have to put Notre Dame as the hardest, and then Texas second, a close second probably.
Yep.
I don't remember what I was saying before the season. I knew I was with you where I thought Notre Dame was the one they could and maybe even like needed to get. But I think what I was generally saying was I don't think LSU's football team is going to be that good. But I said we just never won there.
Right.
I didn't think I was very adamant all year that I thought they were the most over talked about team in the conference, if not the country, was LSU.
My comment
proved true.
My comment toward Texas was the fact that everybody was hyping up Arch, and to me that he is going to be a good player, and he's going to be good. But everybody was hyping him up so much, and I'm like, in what world are we living in that you got this guy that's going to win the Heisman that's backed up a guy that got drafted in the 7th round? It just doesn't exist. No one ever
just a media frenzy.
does that. So. It was insane.
What I love about the Texas people now is they have, pardon the phrase here, they have moved the goalpost to where they have forgotten what they were saying about that quarterback in their team.
Yeah.
And what they were saying when anyone dared to say, hey, you did lose 4 O-line starters. Hey, you did lose 14 guys to the NFL. Hey, your quarterback, they didn't even bring him in at the end of games, even though they could do nothing in the red zone, and he's a dual threat. Why is that? Can I ask that question?
No.
No, you can't. Nor can Jordan Rodgers, nor can SEC Mike, nor can Feinbaum. Well, Feinbaum went the other way with it, but nor can anyone.
Yeah.
And they forget that they were the ones dogpiling. They were the ones saying number one in the country. They were the ones saying,
no doubt, man.
Sark, Sark, Sark.
And you want to believe the people that are following it the closest.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of like how people believe you about A&M.
Yeah.
If somebody from Texas is talking about their quarterback, how good he's looking in offseason, I mean, you got to take him at his word somewhat.
But I'm talking more about the entire mechanism there. Like their social media, and he runs over the Sam Houston guy. And
that was the best.
That was out of control.
The number of their fans, and there was a ton of them saying that they were not even concerned with Ohio State. Julian saying, and they lost both coordinators, and I saw that. I read it, and in fairness, my co-host was not one of those. She was one that would poke holes in anything I said, but not one of those on social media saying national champs, no one can stop us. But their fan base, their media, it was a general disdain, scorn, condescension towards anyone that suggested anything short of them being one of the 2 or 3 likely national champs and him winning a Heisman.
There's no better tradition in college football than the overhype of Texas football.
Wait, overhype of Texas football and Notre Dame football.
And Notre Dame. Although Notre Dame's pretty good this year.
I get it. And then going back
Notre Dame's played for 2 natties since Texas last played for theirs.
I'll give them credit, but I'm just saying they get a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I'm still hurt from the 2020 situation. I mean, I don't know. That was insane, too, in my book, but that's a different story. And that kind of goes to my bitterness, Steve, earlier, being so sensitive. Yeah, I'm being sensitive.
Don't lose by 28. That's how you avoid that.
That's right.
It sucks, but that's what happened.
All right, let's hit a break here. And when we come back, we'll go by the freak of the week and the sleeper of the week. When it comes to preserving your farm or your ranch's legacy, it's not just about capturing pretty pictures of your land. How about Heritage Films and their new product, Farm and Ranch Films? They understand what really matters, transferring the values that you built your operation on to the generations that are going to inherit it. Chance McClain and his entire team have interviewed thousands of people across America, and they discovered something profound, that these aren't just businesses. They're blueprints for building character, from the timber farmers thinking in 100-year cycles to cattle ranchers preserving traditions. Farm and Ranch Films captures the wisdom your grandkids are going to need. Visit yourheritagefilm.com and click on the Farm and Ranch section of the website, or call them up 713-893-8341. That's 713-893-8341 to preserve not just your story, but your family's foundation. It is Heritage Films. We are back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio at the Angry Elephant in Bryan. Ladies and gentlemen, just if you didn't know, we are in Bryan. And it's now time, by the way, it's the final countdown with Steve, Seth, and Billy, presented by La Casa Tequila. It's time for the Freak of the Week.
It's the Freak of the Week. I like having this on. We really harmonized in my ears right here.
Sounded good in mine.
I like it.
All right, I think you went first last time. Is that? Oh, you were the only one in studio last time.
You know what? I deserve to go first then if I was the only one.
Speaking of which, I was sitting there at halftime watching the game, like blaming myself for us losing. Like, this is what I get for not coming Friday.
That's true.
There you go. Good.
I was going to own it.
You didn't get a chance to give us your thoughts on the South Carolina game, brother.
It was amazing. I would say that there's a few plays that really stood out to me in the second half that made the difference in that game. One, of course, the 4th and 12. Marcel, just an incredible effort by him. Number 2, the long touchdown pass into the end zone to ABR. If you go back and look at that, watch the offensive line. You watch the Mike linebacker walk up over the center, and they run a little TE, and the center passes off the Mike, but hits him so hard, nobody picks him up. So the guard and left tackle were all kind of off levels, and they would not have got that ball off if the center hadn't have done such a good job of sending him to the guard. Go back and watch it. He stumbled, got up, half a millisecond away from hitting Marcel before he throws that ball.
That's why we pay him the big bucks.
By the way, both of you,
play on him.
What was different first half, offensive line, second half?
The difference?
Yeah, because they weren't blocking as well.
I mean, I would just say hitting on the plays that you were not hitting on. I mean, that really was, to me, that was the difference. I didn't analyze it fully, but yeah, I mean, they went out and they struggled. That we've said it before. That's what good teams do on the running game, even though they didn't, kill anybody with their running game on Saturday because they didn't have time. But they were effective at what they do. They picked up everything, and I mean, their defense just wasn't even a factor in the second half.
Well, it was to me. It was the first half, even in the second half. They came in with a game plan to make us beat them throwing the football, and that was very obvious. They were stacking boxes, trying to make us go into pass plays, and I think we were doing a good job, dude. What's the defensive end's name? Dylan.
Yeah,
Sam.
Kid's a beast.
He's a freak of the week.
They got some good players.
Yeah.
You're locked up one-on-one on some of those guys. You're not gonna be able to hold the ball for 3 seconds every time.
Yep.
They're really good up front.
They really are. Yeah. And you got to give credit to the offensive line. I mean, I thought they held up really well in the second half, but the first half, we never committed to the run because we couldn't. They wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
And when we were throwing the ball, we were so off and making so many mistakes. Like you never could get into a rhythm.
You're right, and we were never in a position to effectively run the ball.
Yeah, and even in the second half, you're going to establish the run down 27 points.
Right.
And I think defensively they started in a slower spot too because you had a team coming off a bye week that changed coordinators.
Yeah.
No kidding,
that was a tricky first half.
It looked like we
they
just
were on
didn't
the
know
heels
what
a little bit.
we didn't know what they were doing. We figured it out.
We sure did.
Shut them down in the second half.
All right, Freak of the Week.
Freak of the Week. I'm going to go with Miles O'Neal, man. I think my hope is that he gets in about the start of the second quarter.
I was like, Miles O'Neal.
Do you want that? Start of the second? I want a half full of
I don't know, man.
Yeah, give me a half.
That's fine.
You know how many touchdowns Mendoza threw against one of these type teams?
But I don't care, dude. I just
You're the one
want him
crying.
What a stat.
6 touchdowns in a game.
Well, fine. Okay, get him in 6 touchdowns and get out of the game. But I don't want him in there. I'll tell you this. I don't want him running for a yard.
You want the starters out of the game at halftime.
Yeah, I want him to have 500 yards.
All right, that's enough.
Oh, okay.
It's just a topic that
you just ridiculed me. I can't even defend myself.
No, do you understand what he's doing? Like, we don't need to hear.
The sleeper of the week or the freak of the week? Just making sure.
Yeah.
No, he's going freak. That's fine. I hope Miles O'Neal lights it up. I get where you're going, but we don't need to just go down that road you were taking us down. It's a very dark path that nobody wants to do.
That's a dark path.
I'm going to go with Morrow as my freak of the week. I don't know what the status is of all the running backs, but my guess is that he's going to get a lot of carries and probably E.J. Smith as well.
I'm with you. I think one of those running backs is going to have a 100-yard day. I just don't know if it's E.J. or Jamarion.
Yeah.
I think one of those two is going to have a 100-yard day.
Who's your freak?
I'm going to say, I'm going to go along with Seth, and I'm going to say Isaiah Williams carries on his momentum.
Oh, man, that's going to be my sleeper. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to go with March.
Okay, you know what? That's my sleeper. I'm going that. That's my sleeper.
Okay.
Just told
My freak of the week. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a 2.5 sack outing for Ryland Kennedy.
Ooh.
As your freak of the week.
Yeah, because I think,
2.5 sacks.
again, I think this is a bad offensive line. I think they're going to have to start throwing, and I think Ryland, Cassius Howell might have 3 in the first half. I think Ryland Kennedy will see some second half and first half playing
The only
time.
reason that's a terrible pick is because I'd say there's 0 chance they hold the ball for more than like 1.5 seconds.
I get it, yeah.
If I was that team, I'd be like, don't you dare drop back. As soon as you catch it, throw it.
Yeah, it's just a hard week to pick because we want to go with backups, and Ryland's not really backup. He's just kind of a guy that I think will be playing a little bit in both halves.
Well, I'm going to give Marcel my freak of the week then because he's going to throw for the 5 touchdowns in the first half and then call it a day.
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
Let's go with the sleeper of the week presented by the Sleep Station. Jared McLeod and the team will tell you all about the Tempur-Pedic and the Purple Mattress in the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey.
Tempur-Pedic?
Tempur-Pedic.
From New York? Did you hear that?
Tempur-Pedic.
Talking like your mom.
Oh, you got a Tempur-Pedic.
In front of the Lowe's at William D. Fish and Highway 6. The website, thesleepstation.com, Tempur-Pedic.
Tempur-Pedic. Billy took mine, man. I got to think.
Who's your sleeper of the week?
My sleeper. You know what? I am going to. I don't know. Go ahead, Steve. I'm at a loss. I'm trying to dig deep here, man.
I would have to go with somebody on the defensive line. Give me DJ Hicks. It's time for him to have a big game. I want to hear his name called a lot.
Okay.
I got one. I'm going to go with Nye Black, man.
Nice.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
like that.
Hopefully he has a big game and gets out there and balls out.
I hope so.
Before going and facing his,
I would like to
his
see him.
team.
He's so explosive. You'd like to see him make some. He's
He's
only
made a
getting
couple
like
plays this year where you're like, damn.
He's only getting like 8 reps a game, though.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the game where he's out there for extended period and actually makes some plays.
Yeah.
I like that.
went with Isaiah Williams. I think it's going to be one of those receivers. Is it him, TK Norman could be a guy. One of those two, like down the road receivers. I'll go with Isaiah though, coming off his big.
Talk more about that. That was awesome, man. That was impressive that he got in and was able to light a spark like that.
I mean, what a cool moment. What does it say about this team?
Yeah.
That can even happen.
Right.
You're down 30-3, and you need a play, and Craver's banged up, and this guy comes in that hadn't caught a pass all year, and he catches a touchdown that literally gets the comeback going.
That was great.
Like that comeback, here's a young player that when that game started hadn't caught a pass all year, and by the time that game ended, he had 3 for 50 and a touchdown and could walk away going, man, we don't win that game if it wasn't for me.
You're right.
And that's what this team is about.
Yeah.
Whether it's him, whether it's E.J. Smith, whether it was like Damian Samford, these guys that you just don't know when it's going to be your chance.
It just speaks to the culture of the team. I mean, because you're right, because those type of plays don't happen by accident. Those type of plays happen by a player like him because of the work they've been putting in, going full speed in practice, busting their butt all year, waiting for that one opportunity that doesn't come until week 10.
And Elko talked about that. He was like saying I wasn't a halftime speech that I put together or whatever. We started this back in January in the off season when the season ended. So I mean, like, that's how great teams are built. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Damian Samford would typically be a sleeper of the week, but the season he's had would put him in the freak of the week. So I'm going to go Jordan Lockhart to have that sleeper of the week game because I think he's going to get some reps, and I think he'll have
Seth's boy there.
Yep.
No, that's Herrera. Sorry, that's your guy. Herrera.
That's our guy.
I'm surprised you didn't pick him, man.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with our Pick 6 brought to you by Prize Picks live from the Angry Elephant in Bryan. It's TexAgs Live. We are back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studios. Time for, by the way, it's the final countdown brought to you by La Casa Tequila. Time for our Pick Six, brought to you by Prize Picks. We made an executive decision during the break that we're going to announce the A&M game during our Pick Six, but we're not going to keep score on it for the Pick Six because I forget what the spread is, like 55.5. All right, so let's...
A&M.
All right, great. So let's go to Cade Bickham at the mothership.
Dude, we got a problem with these standings. We're not out of the woods of getting Olin in this thing, guys.
Where's you looking?
Okay, you just had it.
We are not out of the woods of getting Olin.
There you go.
As we stand today, Billy Liucci is sitting at a miserable 34-38, 2 picks behind Seth, 2 picks ahead of Steve. Jamie McCoy,
he's relentless.
8 picks ahead of. He's inevitable, as Luke Evangelist would say. So it goes Jamie with he's won it.
Yeah, it's over.
Seth's 2 picks ahead of me in second. I'm 2 picks ahead of Steve between third and fourth, and you, Nuño. Although that tie is hurting you right now, yo.
It's all right. I'm just trying to get out of the cellar.
This is a battle for second.
Actually, you're ahead of Steve at 32, 39, and 1. So once again, whoever you have doing this is borderline incompetent. Is that you or
no? It's our staff.
32, 39, and 1 is better than 32 and 40.
People you hired, Billy.
But here's Olin sitting at 30, 41, and 1.
Nice comeback from Olin.
So Olin is currently only 2 picks behind you.
He could pass me this week.
He's only 2 picks, 2.5, or he's 1.5 picks behind you.
I'm going to get one of those marks safe from Olin.
And he is 4 picks behind me. So Olin is you know that video where the guy's lurking behind? That's what Olin's doing, and he's about to catch both of y'all if you're not careful.
So now I'm going to actually try to pick.
Yeah.
Let's go. Lock in.
Because we all threw a lot of shade at the Mad Crippler.
Poor Fenton is just struggling.
Give it to me.
Hey, by the way, we are going to run out of time on Brian Broadcasting on the Zone, so we'll just continue on TexAgs.com. All right, Bickham, start it off.
Bickham.
All right, so the first one is going to be Missouri at Oklahoma at 11 a.m. in Memorial Stadium in Norman. It's on ABC. Oklahoma is 7.5-point favorites.
Is that Gaylord?
I didn't hear who they were playing.
Missouri,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma 7.5-point favorites.
Who's the quarterback? Do we know?
Yeah, never mind.
It's still
Pribula was doubtful yesterday.
Doubtful. That puts him at 50-50.
What's the spread?
I'm picking OU on this one.
7.5, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I like OU in that one.
Yeah, give me OU.
All right, Beckham.
All right, next one is going to be USC at Oregon in Autzen Stadium. It's on CBS at 2:30. Oregon is 9.5-point favorites in that one.
Ooh. Well, I'll say this. I'm not like an expert on Oregon, but I've taken a look at their record and who they played. Give me USC. I'm not predicting them to win.
Who has USC played?
Nobody.
Notre Dame.
Oh, well, I'm in Oregon. I thought you were going to ask me Oregon. Yes, Oregon's played nobody. USC's at least.
USC's played like Notre Dame, Iowa, Illinois, who beat them. At least they've played like,
At home, though.
I'm going to go USC to cover that spread.
All right, I'm going to stay with the pack. I'm taking USC also.
Bickham?
All right.
If we're going down to Olin, we're going down together. I'll tell you that right now.
We go down.
All right.
Together.
Well, next game is going to be Arkansas at Texas in DKR. That's going to be at 2:30 on ABC. Texas is an 8.5-point favorite.
You know what? Arkansas has not lost by more than a touchdown all year. Give me Arkansas.
Yes, they have, but yeah.
Oh, have they?
Notre Dame beat them by 76.
Oh, yeah, we're just discounting. I forgot.
Yeah.
Give me Arkansas.
I like Arkansas to cover that, and I think Arkansas's got a chance to win that game. I would not pick. If you were giving us no line, I still might. Arkansas, if Anthony Hill's not going and they get a little bit going in the run game, that's when Texas could get themselves
unlike us who refuse to be killed. They just proved that they could just be bullied last week. So
yeah.
I
said, I like Arkansas too.
That defense has given up 38 to Mississippi State, 31 to Vandy, and 35 to Georgia in consecutive weeks. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget how much Florida moved the ball up and down the field on them. So I think They're going to have some issues there. They should score with them. I think it should be one of the more entertaining games of the weekend.
I think it'll be a good game.
All right, pause, Cade. Go ahead.
All right, number 20,
Pause.
Tennessee
Pause.
at Florida at 6:30 p.m. on ABC. Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite on the road in the Swamp.
Florida keeps putting up fights. They did against Georgia. They did against Ole Miss. I mean, it's a 3-point game with 2 minutes left against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still like Tennessee.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I still like Tennessee to cover on this one. I do think it'll be close till the end.
That's who I was going to pick. Tennessee.
Rocky Top. I'm going with Florida to cover and maybe even win that thing.
Whoever's transcribing is going to have a hard time.
That just brought me back to our championship game in baseball against. That was so annoying. Like, it's cool once, all right? It's cool to experience, but like every cheer, come on. It's ridiculous.
Kind of like OU. Not bum 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 bum. Oh, you. Oh, yeah, like the whole game.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know how Texas fans stand that like in the Cotton Bowl. When it's like, oh, you like, oh my
Nothing like the Missouri mariachi song that they play on third down.
God.
That song sucks. All right, Cade.
It's interesting you say that. Because you like that kind of music.
I'm not Mexican. That's not mariachi music. It's a different genre.
You like that type of music.
I don't like mariachi music. When I go to Lupe's, sure.
You like any music that's not English. If they're singing,
I don't listen to polka. I don't listen to Indian music. I don't know.
Pitbull.
Exactly. If they're speaking Spanish,
okay. You're all about the Spanish. All right.
Spanish country is really good.
You're just all about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Next game. Number 11, BYU is on the road at Cincinnati at 7 p.m. on Fox. BYU is a 2.5-point favorite on the road.
I like this one.
Yeah.
2.5 points?
I feel like we're tired.
What do I know, man?
I'm going, well, it's something to do with Cade. I'm telling you, it's Cade not being here in this voice. Why can't Reese Nygren just stand right here and do it?
Because the microphone feedback.
He's
right there.
A little read.
Yell at
Hot mic.
I'm going to go with...
I love you, Cade.
I'm going to go with BYU to stub their toe here in Cincinnati. I like their quarterback. They're playing at home. I got my Cincinnati crew.
Not that I care too much.
I'm going with the Bearcats.
What does that do to the Big 12 championship game if they?
I don't know.
Right, we want to go. Okay, fine.
Probably puts Utah in.
I'm picking Louisville. Yeah. Like I've always thought BYU was a fraud with this 47 guy.
Seth's picking Louisville.
Who are you picking?
Louisville. Are you picking them over BYU?
I'm taking Louisville over BYU.
Cincinnati.